Hey everybody, happy April to us all. Hopefully the start of this month has gone well and we're all enjoying the tease that is New England spring. So just stay safe and healthy as we get through this, and we'll all be better for it, I'm sure, on the other side. So for this month, just a quick reminder update from an email that got sent out, and then a couple of features that I'd want you to be aware of, both on the Google side, and then just reminders slash feature updates on our ticketing system as well, so that you can be the most efficient that you can be on that side and help each other out as you see fit too. So the first is just a reminder. If you hadn't seen an email from our director of technology, Doug Russell, in the last week, we have an opportunity for free PD sessions through the state related to cybersecurity. It's a 10-hour PDP course that you can sign up for and take on your own time. We just need to know who you are if that is something you'd want to do. So look for that email and respond to it. The deadline for that is within the next couple of days to get registered. So who doesn't love free PD sessions, right? Awesome. So yeah, just check that out. Look for an email from Doug related to cybersecurity PDPs. The next thing I wanted to kind of focus on here is this idea of in Google Classroom, we have a new feature that's been out there for a couple weeks, but if you hadn't noticed it yet, I just wanted to draw your attention to it. It is within Google Classroom. They added what they call classroom analytics to the classes that you have in your Google Classroom. So you might have seen it in a couple different places. So whenever you're hovering on your home sets here, there's a little analytics button that shows on the front screen. Or if you're actually in the class as well, there's an analytics button over on the side. And where this can be really interesting is obviously it relates specifically to how much activity you have in the class, but it gives a really cool overview of how are your students doing with everything from on-time work versus late submissions, some overall stats on the quality of work, like from a gradebook standpoint. It's just some really interesting information that's just simply automatically gathered just by us using Google Classroom. So explore that little analytics icon. It could be a great way to have some conversations with your students, or just to kind of see how are things going in this digital classroom environment. So look for that on any of your classrooms that you are a teacher of. Okay, the next feature set here that I want to talk about is actually all about our ticket system. Obviously, we encourage this to be the main point of contact for our technology department. It's the best way to get a hold of us because we talk about all the time, our entire team sees it. From the director all the way down, and it becomes our source of truth for our day to day. So please continue to use it as you guys have throughout these years. But just a couple of features to make it a little bit more efficient for you. The first thing that it's one of those things that we kind of joke about sometimes, but it's one of the first things that we'd encourage you to look at when you get into the ticket system prior to even coming over to submit a ticket. Is this right on the top over your dashboard, we have a status board that unless you were looking for it, you might not notice it. But we keep things up to date on here related to our big picture systems. We'll see if there's any service interruptions for our main systems in here. We'll give a status board update with a little fix or a little FYI to tell you what may be going on if there's anything to be aware of. And so those are good to know before you submit a ticket about it, because if it's on the status board, chances are, of course, that we already know about it and we're working with the vendor or working on our own to fix these types of things. So that's thing number one is let's keep an eye on that status board. Use that as a point of reference. If there's something a little bit more on the emergency side, we'll actually have a banner that takes over the entire ticket system as well. That'll be a little bit more in your face. So always pay attention to those banners or status messages at the top prior to submitting a ticket. The other thing that you can do in here as well is naturally we can respond to emails. After we put in a ticket, you get an email, and then as we correspond with you, you'll get an email notification of that. Of course, sometimes email gets lost in the shuffle, right? Where it can be hard to kind of go back and forth and try to find all of the emails that might be related to things. So if you know a ticket is in the works, right on this dashboard screen here, you have this My Recent Tickets section. This is a perfect place to go to just open up a ongoing ticket, to have that conversation go back and forth. Or perhaps an issue resurfaced that is related to something you've already told us about before. You can go back to any of our previous tickets, and just click on it, add a comment, reopen that, and then that same conversation will join in, and we can work on things together that way. So that can be a great tip to, rather than digging through all your emails, just go right to your recent tickets section and make that happen. In terms of creating new tickets, of course, we have a new ticket button right here, but we also have what we call quick tickets as a feature on here as well. And these are either common things that might be necessary, like we have a staff reset password, where if we click on that, it just jumps us quickly right into that particular ticket issue. So you don't have to dig through multiple menus to get there. But it also has any devices you may be assigned to within our inventory system. And it allows you to just quickly click on the ticket and it'll generate a ticket for that item. So again, saving you a couple steps from going to new ticket and picking all the categories from there. So just simply select one of the quick tickets or the favorite assets, and then you're ready to go from there. Related to creating a ticket, though, the other thing I want us to be aware of is that when you create a ticket on here, one of the things that you have the ability to do is to submit a ticket for somebody else. So when we're creating that ticket, up at the top, it picks your name and your location by default. But if you hit Edit Requester, maybe a friend of yours forgot what their password was, and you needed to search for them in the system. You can do that, and then attach them to this ticket. And what that does is not only are you kind of helping the process along, it connects us on our end directly to that person in the system. And so you're submitting a ticket on behalf of somebody else. That can be a really handy way to help somebody whose device may be down, or if their account has issues that they aren't able to log in a ticket themselves. Rather than just simply saying within the ticket who it is, you can actually submit it for them on their behalf, and just make it nice and easy to kind of bring everybody together to collaborate on an issue. Cool. Alrighty. And then the last thing I wanted to share, and this is related more so to classroom teachers, in terms of creating and managing tickets for other people. If you are a classroom teacher, you have this My Classes view on the left-hand side of our dashboard. And what it shows is it shows you the classes that are rostered over from SchoolBrains. And not only does it show you those classes, it also shows you the students that are in those classes, or potentially if your school has attached a room to your schedule, it'll show you your room information in here as well. And why that's important is that not only can you see your students and the devices they're assigned, you can quickly submit a ticket for those students on their behalf. Or likewise, if you have your room's assets in here, like a projector, like an interactive whiteboard or document camera, that is available to submit a quick ticket for as well. So even if it's not specifically assigned to you, but it's assigned to your schedule because of that room information, you'll see not just your students, but also a room assets, where you can quickly get in there and have that quick ticket concept there. So again, rather than having to dig through all the different steps to potentially guess a category, just simply go to My Classes, pick a student, pick an item from your room, go at it from there. Or as we mentioned, you can use the quick tickets right at the front here to quickly get in and start getting in touch with us from there. So I know a lot of that is probably review for us. It's something we've been using a while, but I just encourage you. We're always thinking about efficiency here in our world, and so hopefully those are some quick, efficient ways that you can utilize the resources available to you. And speaking of those resources, if you have any questions or need any clarification, go ahead and submit a ticket for that or book some training sessions. We are around all the time, as you know, so for either remote or in-person sessions. So definitely take advantage of those support resources as you see fit. Take care.